This is the Mad Church Disease Podcast with your host, MarcellusMcMillian. They don't rest, so neither do we. Sit back and listen or call the show. And now, here's your host, MarcellusMcMillian.
Let's see here. Because this thing be tripping sometimes. Okay, I guess you can hear me now. Okay, thank you guys. So hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Hey, everybody. Shout out to the 80 of you guys that are joining me live here on the Mad Church Disease Podcast this afternoon. Hello to everybody. Let me move this screen over so I can see everybody that is here. Hold on one second here. Got to move this screen over. Let me get this screen over. There we go. Come on. Ah, there you go. All right, let me see who's here. Regina, shout out to you. Hold on, let me go back up to the top. Okay. Barbara Warren, thank you so very much. El Maria, thank you so much for coming. Cami, Nalisha, I hope I said your name right. Hargrave, hey. Kamisu, I hope I'm saying that right, from Tucson, Arizona. All right, thank you so much, Kimisu. Moni No Love, thank you so very much for your membership. I appreciate it. And she is a member. Good evening to Ava Collier. Good evening to you. Jacqueline Vines, who is a member. Poetic Vibes, Terry Hughes. Who is this? Latanya Brown, thank you so very much. Natasha, shout out to you as well. Jesus Gonzalez, thank you so very much for you joining me. And Clarissa, Betty, Dolores, so many of you guys. Jay Renee, I think that's how you say that, Jay Renee. And Trisha, I'm so bad with names, Jay Renee, I really am. Let me see here. Who is this? Clarissa. Mina C, what's up, Mina C? There's so much stuff I got to talk to you guys about today too. Terry Hughes. So just everybody, Fred Samuel, Toy, good to have you here. Betty again, I see there. Debbie, Lynn Pearson. Hello, Lynn. Hello to everybody. Shout out to the 98 of you guys, 100 of you guys that are joining me. Please make sure that you hit the like button. Please help me to get to 75 likes immediately so I don't have to keep stopping and asking for that like stuff, because it throws me off and then I don't know what I'm talking about. Shout out to everybody. Thank y'all so very much for the love and support that you give the Mad Church Disease channel. Now, I have a confession to make today. I have been really busy working on some stuff for this channel and working for some stuff with the backup channel, and I have been really busy, and I wasn't able to download and transfer all of the comments over to StreamYard. I got some of them in here, but I don't have all of the good ones that I want to talk to you guys about. So this show, we're going to do twofold kind of. I'm going to read a couple of comments, and then I'm just going to let you guys sound off and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And I'm also going to open up the phone line so that you guys can call and sound off on whatever you want to talk about. How about that? Now, the reason why I'm going to do that is twofold. Number one, because I wasn't able to get everything done that I needed. And secondly of all, I'm going to actually do what's called Free for All Fridays on tomorrow. And we're going to start a new thing over here called Free for All Fridays. Now, what Free for All Fridays is going to be, we're just going to open up the phone lines and you're going to be able to call and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. You can ask questions, you can, whatever you want to talk about on Fridays, we just going to open it up. So if you guys, want to, we used to have something on the Church Folk Revolution called Fist Fight Fridays, where we would come together and all of the stuff that we disagreed about, we would just fight it out on Fridays. And we had some intense times where we would just literally just do a free for all, and we just would totally disagree with one another, but we would be able to come together and, have a good time and so forth. So, but tomorrow we're going to start our Free for All Friday, where you could just call in here, talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, and whatever it is that you want to do. Okay. So that's that. If you are new to the channel, I want to thank you so very much. I heard somebody posted in the chat that Dawson Speaks shouted me out. Let me just say a shout out to all of the Dawson Speaks folks that are coming over to the channel, that are finding me. Thank you guys so very much. I really do appreciate it. Dawson is an awesome guy. And you guys know I'm always talking about church corruption and some of the things that are going on in the institutional church. But I also talk about all things social commentary and just everything that's going on in our crazy, crazy world today. Today is going to be no different, but I had to sit back today and sort of chuckle and laugh. But before I get into that, let me stop. Let me say this. It's so funny sometimes when I come on this YouTube and I say certain things, and then to watch the things that you have said and the projections that you have made sort of come to pass. It is hilarious to me to sit back and watch these things come to pass, because you guys remember yesterday we were talking about this guy, Derek Jackson, right? Y'all remember we were talking about Derek Jackson and his wife, right? And we were talking about the response from John Gray and, the craziness that John Gray responded to Derek Jackson with, right? And y'all remember yesterday I kept saying, I said, first of all, there were going to be a lot more women to come out about this dude. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, there was another woman who came out last night. Tasha K, the well-known vlogger, released a whole nother video of another woman who happened to be a doctor. And so I guess some of the videos that this dude was making was in front of her house. And apparently she has pictures. She has a video of him walking around the house nude. And she said some really strange things, but I have to tell you, while she was talking, I mean, the thought that came to me was, this is like an episode of that woman show, or that show that's always on Weed Television. It's called Snapped or whatever, where people snap and they kill their spouse, or they kill people because he was, riding around in the front of her home. And she said on the camera that she could see him outside the gate. And I'm sorry for laughing. And, forgive me, you guys, because I know some of y'all like, why did he be laughing? I be laughing because some of this stuff to me is hilarious. But anyway, he was riding around in the front of her gate, and she could see him on the video camera, and he kept calling her. And it was hilarious. And Wanda, we all have been really saying it. We knew that there was going to be more women to come out, right? We knew it was going to happen. And that's why I was like, okay, dude, you just need to get out here and tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and just be done with it, right? And so I'm like, okay, so this guy has he does classic narcissist things. He can't admit when he was wrong. Instead of admitting that he was wrong, he tends to blame other people for his mistakes and his stuff. And one thing about a narcissist that really will get on your nerves is narcissists never take ownership of anything. Like they could make a mistake. They could put something down on a coffee table and you go, did you put that on the coffee table? Well, no, because you did this and that, and they will always find a way to turn it back on you, right? It's always, that's a narcissistic trait, right? But apparently this woman has come forward. She's a doctor and she ended up saying that she had an abortion. Wow, wow, wow. And I'm sorry. I got to get myself together here. She had an abortion. Um, and apparently, I guess he made her, or sort of forcefully. She didn't want children anyway, but apparently she had this abortion. And she was saying that, he exhibited all sorts of really weird behavior. Like this dude would sit out in the parking lot of her job and masturbate and send her pictures or photos. And I mean, just kind of crazy stuff. And this is the kind of stuff that, that some people say, because one of the other girls said that he was having, sexual performance issues. And I would seem to know why he was having sexual performance issues, because if he's doing all of these acts out in public and he's doing, exhibiting all of this kind of behavior, it's some, that would lead you to understand that this dude has some serious problems. But I have something else I want to say about this too, guys. Apparently there was a multi-million-dollar deal on the table between him and Bishop T.D. Jakes. And so one of the reasons that explains why he is or has been exhibiting this, rush and this whole, defense, or save my whole, business kind of thing and doing damage control. One of the main reasons why he's been doing that is because he has some deals on the table, and this is going to affect him financially. Now, I can honestly tell you, when you build your whole entire brand on being a faithful husband and being a faithful man, and then things are found out about you as far as not being faithful, etc., you're going to lose all credibility. And so the only thing that I could tell this dude is you need to change your whole brand. You're going to have to rebrand your entire self, because you can't come out here on YouTube and in social media, in these social spaces, trying to tell people how to be faithful and tell women what to look for in a man when you're a whole cheating dude. And I said this a long time ago, guys. I said, these dudes out here do this to get laid. And he is a classic example of somebody who was coming out here and doing the things that he was doing to get laid. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people don't want to be, they don't want to tell the truth about it. But Charlemagne the God, with his donkey of the day, because, I told y'all I'd be all over these social media streets. I'd be looking at everybody, even people I don't like, because I don't really care for Charlemagne. But I thought I would listen to Charlemagne for his donkey of the day, right? So I'm checking out Donkey of the Day, and Charlemagne ripped him a new one. When I say he ripped him a new one, he ripped him a new one. And I just found so many different people out here in social media that really concentrated and talked about the hypocrisy of this guy, and really how this whole guy's whole modus operandi was to get women, and to, he was only doing this stuff to get women. And most of us guys saw this. It's the same way I feel about, forgive me, but this is just how I feel. The same way I feel about Umar Johnson. The same way I feel about some of these guys that I've seen out in social media, who I always talk about, oh, my black queen and all of this kind of stuff. These dudes are simply doing and saying these things to string women along, and to thumb the heartstrings of women so that it will vibrate, through their heartstrings, and they'll get the butterflies. And then some kind of way you're going to come over and you're going to follow them. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be, enthralled with what they're doing. And it's just ridiculous. And so to hear other people say some of the things that we talked about yesterday, it was just amazing. And so if you're not familiar with the Breakfast Club, just when you get off of this live, just type in Donkey of the Day, Charlemagne the God, or whatever, and it should come up for you. They have millions and millions of followers, so you should go look it up, because he really explained this guy very, very well. And I don't give John Gray a pass. John Gray is over here trying to act like, he has risen above the fray because this particular guy is doing what he has done. John Gray, no, you still are crazy. You still are a full liar, in my opinion. And to tell you the truth, dude, you just need to give yourself, you need to go somewhere and sit down. But those people want you to be their pastor, but you could never be my pastor. If y'all could do me you could do me the awesome favor, please make sure you hit the like button, guys, because I'm not really paying attention to it today, and I don't want to go over there and be disappointed. I love you guys, and I know you guys are family, and I know you guys are going to hit the like button, so I don't have to keep stopping and asking. Please do it. Okay, and if you're on Facebook, please make sure you follow the page, because we're coming up on a very important milestone for Facebook. So please make sure that you follow us on Facebook and give us lots of thumbs up and lots of hearts, smiley faces, if you don't mind. I really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm. It's free. It don't cost you anything. All right. All right. Let me see what I wanted to go in here. Yeah, I know, right? That whole Black Queen, it always gets me. It's always a mess. And they're only doing that so that they can woo, vulnerable women, into their web of deception and deceit, so that they can climb in and wrap you up in all of their foolishness. And then the next thing you know, they completely suck the life out of you like some vulture and like some tarantula. Because if you think about it, most of those guys, they have like a tarantula mentality. They're just going to get you into their web of lies, and they're going to do a whole bunch of web of deceit, and then they're going to wrap you up in it. And the moment they wrap you up in it and they get you there and you're immobilized, and you've put down all of your goals, all of your visions, and all of the things that you've seen for yourself, the next thing you know, these dudes are sucking the blood out of you. And the next thing you know, you're left as only a shell of a woman. And then you're set up to sort of try to rebuild your life and rebuild who you are. And let me just say this, real men, I could just speak for myself. Let me just say something. I don't understand dudes who want to tear a woman down to the point to where she's just some, Millie, just, a woman who can't speak for herself, and, she can't conversate, I don't understand that whole dynamic. I don't understand why a dude would want a woman like that in the first place. First of all, because that's tremendously boring to me. Second of all, you need somebody that has a brain that you can sort of bounce ideas off of, and you can get feedback. And first of all, if you follow me and you follow my channel, I really believe in a woman's intuition, because that's just something that God gave women that he did not really give to men very well. Now, I just happen to have a spiritual gift that allows me to see things that a lot of other people are not allowed to see. And that's just how my spiritual gift works. But, most people don't have this spiritual gift. And most of the time, a woman's intuition, she can see things way clearer. And I mean, immediately women can see things that you just, as a guy, you just be like, I had no idea. Because a woman can point at you and be like, such and such like you. And you'd be like, that person don't like me. And then you get yourself in a situation, you'd be like, well, I just be dog. Well, I guess she did like me. So things like that, just women have a great intuition. And I really, really, really believe in a woman's intuition. And I know, like you said, I'm sure Tiny and them, I'm sure Kirk Franklin is glad too, because it took the heat off of Kirk Franklin. I'm just saying. Now, and this is something I wanted to talk about too today, Dolores. Dolores mentioned this because this is where I was going. I told you guys yesterday, I said something is up with this girl's church. Something is wrong here. Because when people be hyper spiritual like this and always quoting all of these scriptures left to right, Jesus said, and Jesus gonna do it, and Jesus is the only one who can fix it, and Jesus this and Jesus, they way off into the rafters. I don't understand those people spiritually, and I personally just cannot deal with those kinds of folks, right? So yesterday I'm on the internet and I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's a video up of some woman did a really good commentary, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name at this point, but we'll talk about it tomorrow on our Free for All Friday, and I'll make sure that I have a link to the video. She did an excellent commentary about this woman's church. These people is in a whole cult. I mean, And I told y'all they was in some kind of cult. Y'all remember yesterday I said, I bet you they play a whole bunch of horns and stuff in their church. Something ain't right about this whole church, because when you hear people that just negate the reality of circumstances and situations in the actual world, and they just start over spiritualizing everything, kind of gives you an indication that they're crazy and they're spiritually nuts. And then another thing, Dolores, that I heard yesterday that really that got me yesterday, Dolores, was everybody started concentrating on the fact that this boy was talking in third person. I told y'all yesterday that anytime a person starts talking in third person, you better be careful and you better watch out, because even Charlemagne the God, Charlemagne was like, this dude was talking. He was like, he talking in third person. And I watched Charlemagne the God about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning this morning. That thing cracked me up. When I tell you Charlemagne had me busting up, and because of YouTube, and because of the way these platforms are now monetized, they don't like for us to quote unquote swear. So they don't want us to say cuss words. And if you say cuss words, it pretty much just cuts out all of your monetization, especially for those of you that are maybe considering starting a platform or whatever, so they don't like for us to cuss, which I just think sucks, because it just kills the experience of some of the stuff that you'll say. And that's another reason why Cash Apps become so important, because it helps us to just be ourselves, and we can perform our shows and do our shows the way that we want to. So that's why your support, especially if you like a YouTuber and they start cussing, y'all start Cash Apping, because they just killed off all their money, just so you know. I'm just telling you, just so you know. That's how those other people in some of these other sectors have to live, off of the Cash Apps, because if you cuss, YouTube ain't feeling you no more. And so it's a big old mess with YouTube. And so the only reason why I bring that up is because Charlemagne the God, while he was giving his donkey of the day, he couldn't curse. And the other guy, DJ Envy was off camera, but Charlemagne wanted to say a cuss word, and DJ Envy was like, you can't say that. And he was like, I know I can't say it. And so he started, he would say, I'm gonna kick your, and he would pause, you know what I'm saying? So he couldn't say the cuss word. It was just hilarious. I thought it was funny, but it was a really good donkey of the day. I must give Charlemagne that. Very good donkey of the day. And sometimes I'm like, did he really type that himself? Because that is so well done. I don't think Charlemagne is that smart, but he really is smart. I don't want to take anything from him, because I know a lot of people don't think Charlemagne is smart, but Charlemagne is smart. If you've ever listened to his Brilliant Idiots podcast that he has with that other dude, I was really pleasantly surprised at the fact that Charlemagne is pretty sharp, you guys. So if you don't know, if you've never listened to the Brilliant Idiots podcast that he has with that other dude, he really is sharp. But anyway, I brought all of that up to just say, the donkey of the day was really good, so y'all need to pay attention to it. But apparently this girl is in a cult, and they have video of Derek Jackson out there holding on to some woman, and I guess she's like, I don't know if she's speaking in tongues, or she's she's having the devil cast out of her. Something's going on in this video, but it looked really, really weird. And I'm sure that if you guys go look at this and you find this, it'll give you an indication, like I said before, that something is wrong with these people spiritually. So that's one of the things that I wanted to bring up today too. Here's another thing I want to bring up about that case yesterday. A lot of you ladies are feeling, so you guys are feeling disrespected because people have concentrated a lot on this young girl's looks. And people are saying, oh, well, she's the victim, and you guys need to stop concentrating so much on her looks, etc., etc. And y'all need to stop doing that. And I wanted to say something to all of you who, are not understanding this part of it. It's not so much that people are concentrating on the young lady's looks. I think that what people are concentrating on is the fact that her husband put her in a position to where she did not look her best, right? And, he put her out there and she looked so disheveled. And, some of these people out on social media are so petty, because even when I was watching Tasha K last night, Tasha K is so funny to me sometimes, because she had on a bonnet and she was saying, she was saying last night that Derek Jackson's wife has made the bonnet she's put the bonnet on the map or whatever. And I was like, why are you saying that about that woman? Because that ain't right. Because that woman didn't mean to come out there in that darn bonnet. I felt like if she honestly could have had another option, she would not have done that. And Kiki, I get it. Totally get it, Kiki. But a lot of women, because people are concentrating on her look and not the fact of, what's happening to her. I think, people think that that we've some kind of way, her looks have overshadowed the conversation. And I want people to know, no, we're right on target. We know what to be talking about as it relates to the Derek Jackson situation. It's just, people just need to understand. I feel like this woman had come down to the bottom of, she's at her wit's end with this dude. She just looked like a woman who had just given up and given it over to God. Like, I'm done. Like, there's nothing more I could do or say. This is a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of felt like that's the way that she had that look. And Moni No Love, the thing is, I feel like he sort of snatched her, and that was sort of a spur of the moment kind of video. I don't really feel like that video was done, in a professional manner. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that video was done, that wasn't right. What was done to her last night just wasn't, the other day just wasn't right. So with that being said, and you guys just keep in mind, I'm going to open up the phone lines for you guys early. So just make sure if you do want to sound off, get yourself over to the phone lines early and don't be waiting. Because when I open up these phone lines, I want you guys to be ready to hit it and be hot and heavy, because that way we can just get in and get it out. Okay. Just be done with it. But I just feel like this whole Derek Jackson situation, he's not going to be able to come out anymore as some sort of relationship guru. He's going to have to change his entire brand. If you're one of these women out here that is determined that this man is some kind of way, people are just out to get him and all of this, and you just think that some kind of way people made this up on this dude, I think sometimes you might need to check yourself into a mental institution as well. Something's fundamentally wrong with you, because all three of these women, I believe we're up to three in this new set of women. And then remember, Tasha K said beforehand there was another two set of women, or I believe she said it was a set of two girls that got scared and wouldn't come out. So right now we know 1, 2, 3. We know there was a total of 5 women total. So we don't even know if there's any more women. So, but if you look at the videos that this dude put out, this dude's entire brand was trying to tell people how to be faithful and the things that he said about guys. So the things he said about us was like, really, dude? Like, really? I went back and looked at some of his videos. I was like, this dude is something else. And the very things that he was saying about us, he was participating in. And I just want to say this, not all men cheat, that's just the fact of the matter. And it is a very true statement. Not all men cheat. It is what it is. Just like not all women cheat. It is what it is, and there are different various situations that happens in relationships, but you can't come out here and keep making all these blanket statements, about men and saying that men are going to do and exhibit this type of behavior. And then when folks, call you out on it. Now, that's one thing. TD Jakes and his multi-million dollars worth of deals or whatever, that $100,000 of deals or whatever he had with TD Jakes. First of all, you better change his pseudo name or come under a different name, because I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to be participating in anything that this guy has done or said. And so TD Jakes, you might want to reevaluate that. Now, you normally don't make good decisions anyway, TD Jakes. I'm just saying. And normally it's all about the money in the bag anyway. So I'm just here to tell you, you should not even be surprised if you see a movie coming out or something that's based on a book that Derek Jackson wrote, and TD Jakes is producing it, and they're going to appeal to black women and to the black church audience, trying to convince you all to go see this movie and to go see this stuff, because that's what they do. I'm just saying. And I'm hip to that game. I'm really hip to that game because they know their audience. They know the people that they're appealing to. And the people that they are appealing to 9 times out of 10 is stupid, dumb church women. Yeah, I said it and I don't apologize. It's normally stupid, dumb church women. And speaking of stupid, dumb church women, a lot of them tend to come in my comment section and act a darn fool. And you do, and just stupid church folks, period, will come over in my comment section and think they're going to get away with whatever they're getting away with, right? Now, I don't have all the comments that I want to talk about today, so we're going to probably have a part 2 to this on Monday. By the way, you guys, Saturday and Sunday is my rest day. I might have a pre-recorded show up for you guys on Sunday, but Saturday and Sundays are my rest day. So Monday through Friday, y'all got me. Saturday and Sunday, I'm resting. All right, so here we go with this. You know, these people come to my comment section. There's several things that happen in my comment section that really be pissing me off. One of the things that really pisses me off is when you come over to my program and you try to tell me that I'm supposed to get to the point. Let me tell you, let me show y'all some of these comments. Let me see if I can pull these up now. If they're ready. Let me see if this is one of them. This is the thing that gets me. This is really what gets me. Faye Bradford comes to my channel and Faye says to me, get to the point. What are you talking about? Here's my thing, Faye. Don't come over to my platform and try to rush me. Because, see, a lot of times I come on the platform and I start talking and I feel rushed. And anytime I feel rushed, normally when I get off of the live, I just be like exhausted. Like I'd be super duper tired, right? And I don't like to rush. I don't like to rush because I want to make sure that I'm giving articulate statements and I want to make sure that I'm able to get out the statements that I want to get out. But these people coming over here to get to the point. First of all, let me explain something to you because I think you're real slow. This is called YouTube, not RushTube. Okay, I'm not gonna rush myself so that you can do whatever you want to. That's why they have a fast forward button. That's why they have a rewind button. That's why they have all of those kinds of buttons on this here YouTube. So if you come here and you in the middle of something or you waiting for something, always know you can come back and you can watch the show later. But if you're into the live, enjoy the live and enjoy the commentary and don't be in a rush because I'm not in a rush. I'm just not in a rush. And you need to understand that. Now, here's another comment that came up. They'll be killing me. Somebody said, well, yeah, because I kept forwarding to get to the point. Listen here. And I say Relentless Journey Queen Trivia. Did you get there? Because I'm sure you did. Listen here. Listen to me, folks. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. I'm on a program. This is my program. You don't go to the news station and ask the people on the news. Just get to the point. Get to the point. That's their program. That's their program. They run their program how they want to. If you want a rush tube, if you want a rush program, if you want something to be super duper rush, you need to go on and start your own YouTube channel and go over there and rush and speed through everything and see how that work out for you. Because I promise you it's not going to work out for you. Because if everybody comes to your platform and you speeding through everything, I promise you nobody's going to be wanting to watch your program. I'm just saying. So y'all need to pay attention. And there's always a bunch of stupid people that come over and just say dumb things. I mean, just stupid things. It's not RushTube. It's called YouTube. That's all I'm saying. So here we go. This is what really gets me. Too much talking at the beginning. It sends the listeners away. No. Get to the point. These are my favorite ones. Return later to your personals, etc. And I said, well, thank you, Beverly. Since it's my show and my platform, my numbers look great and retention is awesome. So most of the people who watch my program stay and they enjoy. In other words, what's her name? In other words, Beverly, the people who come over here stay over here and they watch the program and they enjoy the program. They don't get to complaining about the fact that they want me to get to whatever point they want me to make. Because see, first of all, I don't know what the point is. Because normally in my shows, I talk about 3, 4, 5 different topics. I don't talk about just one topic, right? So I talk about several different things. So I'm never going to just quote unquote get to the point. So you got to learn to be patient, especially when you're doing YouTube. And this is my nice commentary that I'm going to give to you guys here on these here YouTube streets, because there's going to be some other commentary that's going to come forth, and it may not be so nice. Okay, so let me just say that right there. And then here's the other people. Oh, these are my favorite. These are the people who love to come over here and critique every bit of your language. They want to know that you use every noun, every verb, everything properly, that you didn't use double negatives and all of these kinds of things, right? And let me just express to you something. I speak sometimes on purpose. I will say things that are not grammatically correct. I do it because it's entertainment, and I do it because I like to laugh, and I say crazy okay, I do that, and I do it on and I do that on purpose. Now, if those of you that are familiar with the Church Folk Revolution and our radio program from way back in the day, y'all remember that I used to say all sorts of crazy stuff on the radio. I would say, "You done made me mad," and I would just go half and go ham. And I knew it wasn't grammatically correct, but I would just say it because it was funny how I would say it, and everybody on the radio would love to hear me say it, right? So I tend to do that often. So if I say something like that, understand, for those of you that are family and those of you that are here, you will honestly know, and you should be able to tell by now, that I do have some type of articulation, and I'm not like some of the other individuals who are on YouTube. So you should understand that I have the ability to articulate a thought and disseminate information. I'm just saying, okay? So, but these are my favorite comments, okay? So the lady gets on here and she says, "Don't use double negatives in a sentence, Mr. Debater." First of all, I'm not a debater. I don't come on YouTube to debate. I come onto YouTube to have discussion. Now, we may not always agree and we may not always get along, but I'm on here for discussion. I'm not on here to debate you. So even if you don't agree with me or you don't like something I say, you're more than welcome to call in and disagree with me. And we may have a little exchange or back and forth, but at the end of the day, hopefully we would leave as mature adults and be able to leave the conversation. And then I told her, "Do me a favor, go mind your business, because you one silly woman." Because some of these people just come in here. You just come to the comment section just to be a dum-dum. You literally come to be an idiot, right? And I'm just not in the process of being of dealing with silly folks. You're just a dummy. And I know some of you just mad, and for some odd reason, people have their favorite vloggers, and I get it. And I know some of you who follow me and you follow those other vloggers as well. But I don't hate them. You don't have to hate me because, you rock with them. If you rock with them, rock with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't come over here and hate on me because I'm doing me and I'm talking about the things that I want to talk about, So just don't do that. That's all I'm saying. And I will talk however the hell I want to talk. So there I did it. Now, this is one of my favorites. Hold on. This is one of my favorites. Let me find the first one he did. No, that ain't him. Where's little boy at? Okay, y'all. Now, this is hilarious. This is a video that I did about the Church of God in Crooks election. And so Jalen Curtis decided that he was going to let me have it. So listen what Jalen says. Jalen says, "Let me tell you something here, okay? How could you sit up there and talk about the church and got to cry?" Now, I'm thinking that he either was typing this so fast that the words were coming through his brain but not getting to his fingers, because we're going to have to kind of decode this message. What I believe he meant to say is talk about the Church of God in Christ, but he typed in the Church of God to cry, okay? So when you read this comment, you might want to cry at the end of it, but we're going to try to work our way through it, okay? So Jalen says, and talking about how Bishop Blake is rebuked to you, you need to repent to Jesus. Now over here talking about, however Jesus leads you, that is not what he is leading you to do. First of all, this definitely needs, like, you know what this really needs? This message needs, you know how back in the day when you was a kid, you know, in the cereal box, there would be like a prize inside of the cereal box, and you would get like this decoder so you could read the message on the back of the cereal box so you could kind of decode the message. You need one of them things down in the cereal box so you can hold it up to the cereal box and you can decode this entire message, because I'm telling you, this little boy got on my darn nerves, but I read it anyway. And you guys will notice some of this stuff I don't even respond to because it's just flat out stupid, and I don't respond. But he goes, Jesus, now over here, Jesus leads you. That is not what he is leading you to do. You don't know what Jesus is leading me to do. He says, because the Bible says, judge you not and judge yourself. So I think you got the Bible all twisted. I don't know how I got the Bible all twisted. I don't understand, because you're definitely not explaining yourself very well. He says, I think you need to take this down because this is disrespectful. No, little niglet, this is my channel, and I'll leave up whatever I want to leave up, and I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about. And if you mad that I'm talking about your preacher or your crooked pastor or the Church of God in Crooks, oh, well, I'm sure many of you who come by this channel, you probably belong to the Church of God in Crooks. You either get the information, deal with the information however you deal with the information, but I don't take nothing back. As a matter of fact, before I take anything away, I'm gonna add a whole lot more to it, and you're gonna know exactly where I stand. I'm just saying. All right, so let's continue. He said, I think you need to take this down because this is disrespectful at all. I don't even know what. Now this the clincher, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention to this next line. I am a youth evangelist. Hondo Boshata. So he's already grabbed him one of them titles. He wants you to know he got a title now. He's a youth evangelist. And I can't believe you have even talked and said something about Bishop Blake. Could you need help? Listen to me very close, son. Listen to me very close, son. I can talk about whoever I want to. You don't know who I know and who I don't know. Did you not pay attention to the videos when I told y'all dummies that a lot of times the Church of God in Christ would call on me to come to some of those jurisdictional meetings because some of you no typing, no spelling, having Negroes who put post up on other people's YouTube channel and who can't articulate a clear thought, had screwed up some of the finances and made mistakes and all kind of stuff. So you take your little youth evangelist self on somewhere and go sit down and shut up. And then you don't tell me to take my videos down and tell me what's wrong and tell me he said, you will read with yourself because you sit up there and talk about the Church of God in Christ. Yeah, I talk about the Church of God in Crooks. I talk about all of them. And if you look at Jalen looks like he's a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. Jalen, you need to go get yourself some help, son. You really do. You got to go get yourself some help. I hope you feel better, homeboy. No, I'm not your homeboy. And see, this is one of the problems with these folks out here on YouTube. First of all, young man, I'm not your homeboy. You and I are not on the same level. We are not, we're not in the same age group, and you don't need to be referring to me as your homeboy because I'm not your homeboy. What you need to go do is get a haircut, because basically on that thumbnail picture of yours, your hair standing up all over your head, you don't look presentable, and you need to go somewhere and learn how to present yourself before you run around here leaving comments to people over here on YouTube. I do not play those types of games, son. I don't play those types of games. And yeah, I will talk about the Church of God in Crooks as long as I want to. And since you brought it up, Jalen, I may as well talk about the Church of God in Crooks right now. Can we take a Church of God in Crooks moment, ladies and gentlemen in the chat? Let's take a Church of God in Crooks moment here just for a second. I told y'all back in the day that they were going to choose Sheard. J. Drew Sheard. I told y'all senior. I told you they were going to choose him because they've been wanting him on that in that position for quite some time, right? I told y'all that. Here's the thing. When you know the Church of God in Christ and you know the Church of God in Crooks, there's several factors and dilemmas that come into play. First of all, you all need to be watching Brandon Porter like a hawk. And the reason why you need to be watching Brandon Porter like a hawk is because Brandon Porter has coveted the position of presiding bishop for a very, very long time. He wants to be the HNIC of the Church of God in Christ. Before they even voted for to make sure that the general board was put back in place and so forth, he had already announced that he had plans on running for the Church of God in Christ, the chief presiding bishop. He had already made an announcement that he was going to run for that office before they had even got the general board and all of that stuff straight. So listen to me very carefully. Y'all need to be watching. Y'all need to be watching him. I'm just saying, because one thing I know about preachers and one thing I know about people in the Church of God in Crooks is they are very undermining and they work against other preachers and they're very manipulative and trying to oust each other and trying to dig up dirt on one another. Yes, I am. I tell the truth. It ain't nothing but the truth. And I don't care if you're mad. But this is just something that they do. And why do I know this? Because I have been in this church and in this institution, not the Church of God in Christ, but the institutional church for my entire life. I know how you operate. I know what you do. And I know you guys completely work against each other. And it's going to be a whole mess. Now, I'm going to make some predictions here. And y'all mark my words. Mark my words. Now, the good news is, J. Drew Sheard Jr., his babies and the stuff that he did, they showed all of that stuff on the BET show and so forth. And thank God that Kiara done got married now, because, she ain't got to be living in sin and shiving and shucking and jiving behind the scenes no more. You didn't hear that from me. Allegedly. So let me continue. So thank God that everybody's married. So now everybody's married. So let me just say this. You watch my words on how they go after Junior, J. Drew Sheard Jr. You mark my words, how they try to make it an issue about him and how they try to make that a reflective on his father. Now, y'all mark my words. You mark my words, how they try to manipulate that situation and do the stuff that they do to them. Y'all mark my words. Now, I don't think they'll bother Kiara too much, but you mark my words, they're gonna go after Junior. Oh, you better bet. And if Junior slip up and he get him some and they find out about it, they gonna bring a mess. They gonna make a whole mess about that. I'm just saying. And they're gonna make a whole big old mess. And y'all know, and those AIM conventions and how that stuff go down in the AIM conventions, y'all watch. Now, y'all mark my words. Now, you heard it here first. What's today's date? Mark it down. So when it happens, y'all watch what I say, and I'm gonna bring it back up, and you mark my words, and y'all be like, "Dog, how did Mad Church Disease know that?" Because I know these fools. Now, here's another thing. Since you want me, what's the little boy's name? Jalen, you don't want me talking about the Church of God in Christ and Church of God in Crooks. Let me go on and address the Church of God in Crooks. I'm going to talk about them right now because I feel good down in the city of my soul. Let me tell y'all something else. For those of you that are part of the Church of God in Crooks, y'all need to listen up. Y'all better make sure y'all have some heck of a intercessors praying for J. Drew Sheard. And let me tell you why. I don't care how faithful a man is to his wife. Let me tell you something. Listen, y'all hear me. People are only as faithful as their options. And I've said that here a million times. Listen to me. When you get to become the presiding bishop, there's all sorts of people that come out of the woodwork that'll be trying to slip the pastor the number and try to meet him up in the hotels. There's all sorts of things. So let me tell y'all what y'all better do. Y'all better make sure that them intercessors be on their face, because them women is going to go after J. Drew Sheard like they have never gone after him before. There are reasons that the majority of a lot of these presiding bishops and so forth get caught up behind the scenes and have all of these babies behind wedlock. When we know about Patterson, right? We know about J.O. Patterson and some of these other folk, and even some of the general board members. Did I say that out loud? I did say that out loud. Well, Jalen said he didn't want me to talk about the Church of God in Crooks, but but I can say things because I know stuff. I'm just saying. But even some of the board members that had the babies out of wedlock, you need to, y'all better be praying, because when you get in these positions, these folks come out of the woodwork and they come out in full force looking for you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Keep in mind, y'all, the phone lines is open. I'm just saying. They better have some good intercessors. I mean, some good intercessors, because he gonna need all the intercessory prayer he can get. Because these women are coming after him, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Because Karen, Karen is a real good little nice first lady, but I kind of think if you make Karen too mad, her and Dorinda gonna beat the crap out of you. I'm just saying. Karen and Dorinda, they're gonna beat you up. And I kind of believe that Dorinda might be able to fight a little bit. I don't know about Karen so much, but normally the people that's so nice like Karen is, they normally, when they switch up on you, they really can kick your butt. So I think Karen might be able to whoop your tail. If you mess with her just right, she might let you go. Well, yeah, they judged him doing that TV show. That's why I said, Cammy, it's a good thing that he's put everything pretty much out there already, because I promise you they are going to make him an issue for his father some kind of way. Y'all mark my words. Write it down. I told you. Write it down. Mark my words. All right, moving right on. I'm just saying. I know my stuff. I know my stuff. And now his son is gonna have access and be traveling and doing all of this stuff. You mark my words, y'all gonna be like, Mad Church Disease said it. All right, now let's read this. Now, I did a video a while back about the black church and how the gentleman, I forget his name at this particular point, he did a documentary on the black church and how they're always trying to paint the black church as the old black church, right? And I keep trying to tell all of these people that church of the 1960s and 50s and so forth is not the same church, right? It's not the same church. And I don't care what you think about it. It just is not the same church. So this lady decided she would comment. Henry Louis Gates is his name, by the way. He did a documentary about the black church. It was on PBS. It was on there this year. And so she decided that she would comment. She said, I don't think he meant it as though it's the same, referring to the church, but showing how the church brought us through. Listen here, I understand the whole civil rights movement and all of that. But what did the church bring us through too? Yeah, they did bring us through the civil rights movement. We know that it's not the same, but prayer and the praise houses brought us through. I loved it because God did bring us through. How many times she gonna say it brought us through? Just brought us through, huh? And that's what they were talking about, and not that it's the same now as it was then. But see, the point that I'm making is when you make these documentaries, you need to highlight the fact that the same church is not the same. Because women like you who make comments like this, you still are so full of the nostalgia of the old church that you do not recognize that the new church that you're dealing with is not really bringing you through. The only thing that the new church is really going through is your wallet. It's going through your wallet. It's going through your purse. It's going through your family. It's going through your children. It's going through your retirement. It's going through your 401k. It's going through your IRA accounts. It's going through all of that. Because in order for you to live, exist, and be in this institutional church that we have right now, you got to be coming out of the pocket, because the only way that they find God now is in the bottom of your wallet or in the bottom of your purse. And it's just very, very simple. And I don't care how mad you get about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can get mad all you want to. She says here, also the church was the vocal point of the community. Well, yeah, that was the truth. The church was the vocal point of the community, because normally, let me explain something to you guys history-wise. The institutional church survived back then because, for the most part, the preacher really, back in those times, honestly, started becoming the most educated person in the black community. So people came to the preacher because the preacher could read. He's the one that had the education. So a lot of people trusted the preacher more than they trusted, a lot of the other people in the community. I'm just saying, and it is flat out the truth. So they trusted the preacher. But you cannot trust these preachers that we have in our society today, because most of the preachers that we have right now are crooks. And you can get mad at me for saying it, but it is just flat out the truth. They're crooks. They're greedy. They're whores. Case in point. Case in point. Did any of you in the chat happen to see Jamal Bryant's birthday video that they put out celebrating Jamal Harrison Bryant's birthday, where he came to the church and landed in the church grass by way of helicopter? Anybody see this video yet? Y'all see it yet? Because I was going to do some commentary on it yet. I just want to know, anybody seen this video yet? Somebody put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the video. If you haven't seen it, put a 2 in there. Let me see how many of y'all have seen it. So Jamal Bryant lands by way of helicopter. Okay. He lands by way of helicopter. And he literally walks into the church, and the people are, clapping for him as he walks through the doors, etc. All right, so some of y'all seen it, some of y'all didn't. Okay, good. So he walks through the church, and he's all dolled up and he's walking through the church, but he comes to the church by way of helicopter. Absurd, completely over the top. I mean, just completely over the top. Do you honestly think that Dr. Martin Luther King would have got on a helicopter ride and landed in front of Ebenezer Church some kind of way? I'm just saying, you think Ralph Abernathy and those guys back in there would have got in a helicopter and helicoptered their way to their speeches and the things that they were doing? I mean, come on, let's just be honest. We live in a generation of people that is just so over the top. And you guys know how we do in our community anyway. First of all, we do things completely over the top. It's just way over the top. Now, most people love it outside of our culture. They love it, although they try to pretend like they hate it because, first of all, we're some of the most entertaining people in the whole wide world. That's why they enjoy us so much. But it's completely over the top. And she says everything was centered around the church at that time. And I feel like, some of you are so, why are you trying to educate me? Of course, I know that. Education, civil rights, etc. Maybe we saw the wrong documentary. No, heifer. I saw the correct documentary. I was commentating about it because it's just not the same church. And you're too busy trying to respond to what I said instead of listening to what I said. No, Henry Louis Gates, he did a great job of showing you and filling you with nostalgia about an old church that doesn't exist anymore. That's what he did. That's what he did. He didn't give you an up-to-date picture of what the actual church is right now and what we're dealing with in the institutional church. And the reason why is because if he did, most of you guys would feel guilty and you would feel bad about it. And I'm just saying, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And these are the nice comments because I ain't even got into the real deep ones that I'm going to get into. Keep in mind, you guys, the phone lines is open, by the way. And I know I keep clicking on this, but the moderators are going to, keep the phone line in there for you in the chat. So if you need to call in, you can do so. Let me see where that other comment was. Let me see which one is this. All right. So, Andre says, I do understand it's your platform. However, for the fact that you put it out there means that I should have a say, or people that watch your program. I believe you should really get to the point. Some person really don't have the time for you to always give your opinion. Isn't this the dumbest This is the dumbest comment I think I've ever seen in my life. It is a commentary program, you dummy. So if you come over here, what would you be expecting except my commentary and my opinion, you idiot? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all dumb. It's called commentary. That's why I open up the phone lines, you idiot, so you can give your opinion too, because it is a commentary program. Boop, boop, be doop. What did you do? Did you ride the short bus to school? What's wrong with y'all? Are y'all crazy? You're just stupid or something, or you're just typing You're just typing stuff just to be typing, and you're not really giving any thought to the stuff that you're saying and that you're letting come out of your mouth. It's just so dumb. He goes, I believe you should really get to the point. No, I believe you should get on about your business and go somewhere else, because you don't tell me what to do over here on my platform, Andre. I do what I want to. So you don't get that. You don't get that right. Sorry, you just don't get to do that. So sorry. Boop, boop, be doop. You don't get to do that. Some people don't really have the time for you to always give your opinion. Well, it's my show and I will give my opinion, and I don't care what kind of time you have, because when you come to the Mad Church Disease channel and you watch this program over here, you're on my time. Hello, duh. I'm trying to tell you, you're on my time. I'm here putting out the content. You're on my time, you dodo brain. That's all I'm saying. Give the facts and let your viewers make the decisions. Shalom. Let me tell you something, Andre. This ain't eyewitness news. This is, I'm not eyewitness news. And see, this is the misconception that a lot of people who do this commentary stuff on the internet have. And this is another reason why people need to correct this behavior. Most of these people out here that's trying to pretend like they journalists, you're not a journalist. Okay? You're not a journalist. You are a vlogger. Most vloggers give commentary to social events, celebrity news, whatever else you talk about. Me, most of my stuff is done in a church, culture kind of situation. So that's what we do. I'm not eyewitness news. So if you come here expecting for me to give you the news, you already wrong, and you already mistaken. You done clipped your abilities straight up off the bat, player. So don't come over here thinking you about to get the news, because you're not about to get the news. And I'm just here to tell you that point blank and the period. You're not going to get the news. Let me look at some of these comments. I'm just saying. Yeah, these folks are something else. And it's totally dumb to say. And they have lost their minds. It's just dumb. Yeah. And then that's my favorite part. Yeah. And then shalom. But see, this is what the saints do. This is why I don't mind talking crap to these so-called saints, and I tell them off all the time, because they're nice nasty. And I know nice nasty, because I'm an expert in nice nasty. I can cut your head off and before your body even hit the ground, be on going about my business, because I'm good like that. Trust me when I tell you I'm good, and the Lord is still working with me, because I know how to cut your throat and keep it pushing. But He's working on me. Yeah, they could just go to another channel. That's the thing. That's what be cracking me up. I'll be like, why are you here? Yeah, it's like crazy. You're not a journalist. You're not a journalist. You think you're a journalist. You want to be a journalist. There's a reason why you're not on ET, and there's a reason why you're not on Extra doing celebrity gossip and celebrity news, because a lot of times you throwing shade and you being salacious with stuff, and you really mean people evil. You don't really mean people good. Just like people are out here talking about, oh, carry on. Oh, I won't carry on to do so well, and I won't carry on. Oh, he should come on my platform. He should talk to me, and he should be able to work. You don't want that boy on your platform because you really want to help him. You want that boy on your platform. So, and we all know we all need those clicks, likes, and views. I explained that to you yesterday, but you want that for financial reasons, and you want to become a part of the story so that your name is out there, and you will constantly have your name out there. That's the whole reason why you want the story. You don't want the story because you literally care about the young man. Yeah, I said it. You don't care nothing about that boy. You don't care nothing about that boy, because he is as nutty as Skippy peanut butter. That boy is as nutty as Skippy peanut butter. I bet you one thing, I declare unto God, I bet you he skips in his dream. When he's supposed to be counting sheep, I bet you he's somewhere skipping around in a circle. I declare that boy, he got all kinds of issues, and y'all just not willing to tell the truth about it. And I'm going to tell you something else, that Derek Jackson's wife, she got some issues too. And I don't mean to say this, but I've said this yesterday, and I'm going to say this again. The only reason that man married that girl is because he had it in his plan to cheat on her from the beginning. Now, he's never going to admit it because he's a narcissist, but I want y'all to hear me correctly. Let me put his picture up, because I want y'all to really clearly hear me. That man in that picture had no intention of being faithful to that woman at any given time. He had no intention of being faithful to this woman, and he knows it. I know it, he know it, and any man that will tell the truth about the dynamics that they have seen thus far with this particular brother, this brother had no intention of being faithful to that woman. And the sad part about it is this woman has not yet understood or come into an understanding that this man does not care two diddly squats about her. And yeah, I said it. Now let me get my spiritual gift to work in here. Let me tell you something about my spiritual gift. Let me tell you what I was able to discern and see in this situation. And I told y'all yesterday that I told y'all a couple of days ago that this man, there were going to be a lot more women that was going to come out because he's been cheating. And this has been a repetitive behavior for this dude from the beginning. Let me explain something to you. My spiritual gift told me, and I didn't say this to you all yesterday, but I'm going to say this to you all now. Okay. When I went to his wife's Instagram account, because of some of the thoughts and deeds that she had when she was a younger woman and she was first entering into the relationship with her husband, she took on a persona of, because of some of the things that I've done in my past, that's the reason why her husband is behaving the way that he's behaving. And so she has taken on some level of ownership of his behavior because of some of the thoughts and the deeds and things that she has done in her past, right? Because just based on some of the things that I read on her Instagram, she was a little bit manipulative and she was doing things behind the scenes, I guess, to sort of get this husband of hers. And now that she's got this husband of hers, she sort of feels like that she's turned her life over to the Lord. Now she has to deal with all of the traumatic and drama things that are going on this situation. But let me tell you all. She is in a spiritual. What's the best way to describe it? You know how when you was a kid and your parents took you to the fair, and when you went to the fair, you went to one of those fun houses. And when you got into the fun house, sometimes the ground would move and it would be unstable. And sometimes they would, you would be in a place where you could see your reflection in the mirror, but as soon as you walked up to the reflection, it would make it look like you was going one way, but you would run right into the window and smack dab into the mirror every time. Y'all remember those fun houses when we would go to the to the fair and stuff, and you would run into those little fun houses? This is what she's experiencing right now. She's experiencing it naturally, and she's experiencing it spiritually. Stay with me. I'm here to tell you, it's my spiritual gift. Here's what she's doing. She keeps looking at herself in the mirror and thinking, because she is trying to exemplify Christ, and she is trying to be forgiving and loving to this evil person, she does not understand that she keeps smacking her face and herself into a mirror because she is in a mirage of a relationship. There's some good teaching here. I'm giving you some good teaching here. She is in a mirage, but she thinks that she's in a relationship. She's in a mirage. She's in a relationship that if she was in a hot desert, this guy would appear to be water, but the moment that she would try to drink it, it would be like sand in her mouth, and it would cause her even more destruction in her life. And she doesn't understand that. And she doesn't understand it. And because of her trying to please God and be pleasing to God, it is causing her a great amount of dilemma, because she doesn't understand that she is literally in a mirage of a relationship. And there are many women who are in a mirage of a relationship. And you're wondering why your soul is always thirsty. Your soul is thirsty because you're trying to drink from a well that has already run dry. I had to pause for a second because that's my spiritual gift. So she's trying to drink from something. She's trying to drink from something that has run dry. And there is nothing she could do. There's no amount of sex. There's no amount of oral sex. There's no amount of freaky sex. There's nothing she could do to this man that is going to create the necessary irrigation to irrigate the dry places of this relationship that can reinvigorate this relationship. This relationship is a mirage. And if she doesn't understand that this relationship is a mirage, she's going to keep running into the mirror. And the mirror is trying to tell her, and she's looking into the mirror thinking that she is taking on the image of Christ. But what she is doing is she is taking on the image of a foolish woman. She's a foolish woman. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting to get a different result. You keep forgiving this man over and over and over and over and over again because you think that you're going to get a different result. And then she said in one of her interviews, and I don't even know why I went back to this, but this must need to be for somebody. Somebody need this. She said in one of the interviews, she said, "Oh, well, I gave him over to the Lord, and the Lord is the only one that can fix him." No, ma'am. 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 Because if you're truly in a relationship, ma'am, you and your husband your relationship with God and his relationship with God should be reflective. You should be able to see the image of Christ in him, and he should be able to see the image of Christ in you. I'm just saying. And the whole world is able to look at your husband, and they know that the image of Christ is not in your husband. The image of deceitfulness is in your husband. Your husband got you up on camera with that stupid smile, trying to pretend to save his business and to save his situation. And he's got you sitting up there squeezing your hand, trying to pretend like you're in total alignment and agreement with what he's doing, all while full knowing that he has no intention of being faithful to you at all. He has no intention of being faithful to you at all. And neither does John Gray's wife. Same thing. Same thing. I don't care that John Gray, that you done moved into a big old house, a bigger home. You done move out of the parsonage that was given to you by that other pastor down there in South Carolina. And now you done got your own little house down there in South Carolina. Let me tell you something. Buying a house doesn't make a home. Thank you, Alicia Merritt, for your super chat. Thank you, Alicia. I mean, let's just be real here. Hey, Andrea, thank you for joining me. And I agree. Let me tell y'all what I've been sensing, and normally I'm not wrong. You can ask all my A-team and the people who follow me. Normally I'm not wrong. This done crossed over into a level of danger for me. While I was laying down in my bed last night thinking about this whole subject and thinking about him, the only thing I kept seeing was an episode of Snapped. And that woman that had that abortion for him, I feel like if he would have gotten into that woman's home and gotten a hold of that woman, I feel like because he's a narcissist and he's so busy trying to save himself from this situation, I felt like he would have done harm to that lady. And if the women that have been involved with this man, first of all, you guys need to be making sure that you're protecting yourselves, because he's such a narcissist that this dude will probably try to come after you and harm you in some type of way. And I felt like with that doctor, because she saw him on camera coming, pulling up to her gate and being, driving by the front of her house like 4 different times. She said they saw him on camera. And I just want to put this out here into the ether space. That boy is dangerous, because now he is in a tailspin to save himself, and he will do whatever to whomever to save himself. He's a narcissist. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. 609-663-1539. If you're going to call, you better call in now, because I'm about to shut it down. I gotta go find me something to eat, and then I gotta get ready for Daryl's program tonight. But I'm here to tell you guys something is up with that guy, and I sense danger. There's something dangerous around him, and there's something danger in this whole situation. And I don't, and honestly, his wife's mother and his wife's family need to be very, very careful and be paying attention to him and paying attention to the things that he's doing. Honestly, if I were his wife's family, I would ask her to come and stay with us for a couple of weeks until the tailspin of his situation, whatever he needs to fix, he can fix. But I would go get my daughter. If her father is still alive, ma'am, sir, go get your child. First of all, because he is disrespecting and mistreating your child in the first place, you need to go get your child. You need to go get your child. Well, here's another thing. You bring up a good point too. How are all y'all having sex with no condoms? Are we still doing that? Like, really? I'm sorry, I had to pause. What is wrong with grown-ups? I'm talking about adults here now. Are many of you, are you just stuck in a child's mentality? They told us in the 5th, 6th grade about sexual education and condoms. You meet a man in the mall. The doctor says she met him at the mall. And you having sex with this man without a condom. You get pregnant by this man. And you're a 30-year-old woman and you end up having an abortion. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think she's telling the whole truth about that either. Y'all want to tell, or y'all want, here's another one I'm going to drop on you. Spiritual gift just working. When she told the story about her having the affair, them having the affair, she didn't know he was married, and she just decided to have the abortion because she didn't want to have no children. I don't believe she's telling the truth about that. I don't think she's telling the truth. She's a 30-something-year-old woman, and what 30-year-old woman who is a doctor who doesn't have children would not want to have a child at that particular age and time? She done finally got pregnant. What I believe happened in that situation, and this is conjecture and this is my opinion, I believe at that particular point, that's when she found out that dummy was married. And when she realized that dummy was married, she was like, I'm not about to have no baby with a married man, because it's going to make her look bad. And when people found out that she had done the things that she had done, it's going to make her look bad. And she didn't want that. And I get it, the fact that she's a surgeon. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, they all lied. I agree with that, Mississippi girl. But the problem is we have to be able to differentiate between the lies, and you got to use your thought process, and you got to process some of the things. You got to process some of that stuff. But you somebody's you're a 30-year-old woman and you get pregnant by a man, and according to her, they would have sex in the parking lot in his truck. I'm just saying. And that could be some hot sex at a given point. If the person is that you with, I mean, you're singularly with that person. Yes. But when you having multiple relationships, when I think about you having sex with this woman in a parking lot, I think to myself, well, he thought very little of you, because he was just trying to get it in so he could go on to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, Alicia, I agree with you. Let me see. Where's your comment? Alicia, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But like you said, those women will take precautions. This woman's not taking a precaution. And she's having unprotected sex with this guy, right? Yeah, I think they said a truck, Sheila. I could be wrong. But I think the woman said a truck. Yeah, well, Mississippi girl, I'm just saying. I don't think anything is wrong with sex in the car. That's actually pretty hot, because, well, I mean, it depends on the person you with, having some interesting, making it fun and exciting. But how about making it exciting when you're single? How about make it fun and exciting when you're only having sex with that one person? How about make it fun and exciting, and to think about the other women said that he had, performance issues. They're saying that this dude sometimes has performance issues. I would think so, because he's got to perform a lot. He's got several different women he's trying to keep. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't no young man. And he's up there lifting all of them weights and stuff. And you know what they say about all these folks that be lifting weights and stuff. If y'all don't know, a lot of these weightlifters, they suffer from dysfunction. And can't get it up. And one of the ladies said that. She said he wasn't able to get it up. All these folks that y'all love with all these big old muscles, some of these folks can't get it up. I'm just saying. And so while you praising the fact that the man looked good, he can't even function. And it's just like some of these men who pick their wives that are just beautiful. You picking a wife just on her looks, but she can't function. I'm just saying, she don't know how to hold your business down if you get sick. She's so airheaded that you can't teach her, how to run your business if you have a business, and say, hey, babe, if something happens to me, I need you to keep this ship afloat. If I go down, keep everything afloat. She's beautiful, but she don't know how to function. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, one of the worst things in your life to do is to get with a mate or a person who cannot function. Something goes down, they're totally dependent and reliant on you. No, if a real man will want a woman who knows how to function and can handle all of the business in case I'm not present or I'm not here, you can function. And most women will want a man if something goes down, that she knows that he's got her back and everything's not gonna crash because something happened. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, that's the stuff that we think about. I mean, mature adults. I don't know what other people think about. And you think about her, you think about this lady. She's a professional. She's a freaking surgeon. Look at the trauma that he brought into her life. And look at the mess that he brought into her life. And look how he would have affected and changed her entire life with all of his foolishness. And he out here claiming that he a relationship guru, and he trying to tell women what a man is supposed to be like and how a man is supposed to treat you and how a man is supposed to do. This guy is a complete hypocrite. Honestly, man, he couldn't tell me there was salt on a pretzel. I'd be like, really? This fool couldn't tell me there was salt on a pretzel. I'd be like, I don't want to hear nothing from him. This is one of the reasons why I don't listen to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey couldn't tell me nothing. He couldn't tell me nothing. I don't listen to him. I don't listen to people like that. And I watch some of you on social media follow behind all of these people talking about, oh, they're going to teach you how to get a mate and all of this stuff. And you look around and these people's lives is just as raggedy. I'm just saying. That doctor, that lady said she was a surgeon. She was a doctor. And people was jumping on her. Well, she don't use perfect English. And, oh, she's country. And, oh, she don't talk well. It don't matter. She's still cashing the check. She don't care what y'all think. And there are Southern people who may not speak, perfect grammar, that are professionals that make a lot of money. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And you can hate on them all you want to, but they were even hating on her. I was like, but that's some interesting stuff. And here's another thing, ladies, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you all are a lot tougher on each other than y'all should be. Y'all need to stop beating up on each other so much. Y'all be beating up on one another. Like, dudes don't even beat up on each other as much as y'all beat up on each other. Because you got some dudes right now that's ready to give this dude a high five. They out there, they high-fiving him. They so happy that he was able to get through all of these women. They love every minute of this mess because they don't understand they just horrible people, and they have bad motives, and they know good and well that they're not good people from the bottom of their heart as well. I'm just saying. It is what it is. It absolutely is what it is. And I know some people get frustrated with me for talking like that, but it is what it is. But I want to carry this over. Derek Jackson is also a reflection of most of the pastors and preachers that are in the institutional church right now. He is a big old reflection. We got a list of preachers that behave and do the same things that Derek Jackson does, but instead of him being a relationship guru, some of y'all call him bishop and pastor. I'm just saying, you call him apostle, and they exhibit the same kind of behavior, and they do the same thing. And all you do is let him get in the pulpit and say, preach, black man, preach. And the same thing with Jamal showing up in a helicopter. Now, Jamal done been found out time after time after time that he's cheating and he's doing the things that he's doing. And folks just let him go right on like ain't nothing happened. Preach, black man, preach. And primarily, ladies, that is your doing, because you guys make up 99.9% of the church, and y'all don't put no demands on these folks, and y'all let them get away with this kind of behavior. And here's what I find interesting. We just talking. We having a little conversation here as we're about to end the show, because I don't have any calls in the queue yet. Here's the funny thing. You all will let these preachers do this all while not allowing women to move up the ranks in the ecumenical community and society. I find it very interesting, especially in the Church of God in Crooks. They make these women, they're missionaries, they're evangelists, but they won't never let them move up the ranks as far as in the church is concerned and actually pastor and do those things. And they try and use the Bible to justify their foolishness. It's very interesting to me when 99.9% of the church is women. Very interesting to me. And if they do take over a church and they pastor a church, they tend to have to leave the denomination. I'm just saying, it's a very interesting situation. And Mississippi Girl, like I said, I know that y'all definitely can tell when another woman is lying. I don't know if you was here for the part when I talked about woman's intuition, but you guys have that intuition. So yeah, I mean, y'all do know when people is lying. Now y'all do know when folks is lying. I'll tell you that. Y'all got that intuition now. Now that y'all do have. Now I'll give it up 1,000% to that. But I don't understand how in the world you allow people, you can raise money for the church. Y'all raise millions of dollars for these churches. And the preachers look you dead in the face and say, you not equal. You're not equal. And so this hierarchical system and this patriarchal system has been put on you and will never let you get outside of the box. And in order for you to get outside of the box, you got to go to a whole different denomination. Or you got to leave the denomination that you quote unquote were raised in, etc., in order for you to be able to really blossom and to really grow and do what you feel like God has ordained and called you to do. Now, and just as a man, let me speak for myself. I don't understand how you can get your meals from a woman. I don't understand how you can caress a woman. I don't understand how you can make love to a woman, have children by a woman, and then say that God can't speak through her or use her to give you the word of the Lord. I have a problem with that whole kind of mentality. You can eat from a woman's table, and we're going to be frank. Most of us got our first meals from a woman. If your mother breastfed you, you got your first meal from a woman. And so spiritually, all of a sudden now women are incapable of delivering a spiritual message. I just find it barbaric. I find it archaic. I find it barbaric. And I think that this is one of the main reasons why a lot of these other churches and a lot of this other stuff, people are going to get tired of it. And sooner or later, these women are going to wake up and they're going to be like, you know what? We done put all our money into this stuff and we're going to stop giving these fools our money. And sooner or later, you preachers and pastors who refuse to acknowledge that God can use a woman and speak through a woman, y'all gonna have problems. Y'all gonna have problems in the future. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. And I do believe everybody should talk to the Lord about that. Yeah, I do. I do. Because here's the funny thing. It'll mainly be women coming up against a woman actually having the ability to use her spiritual gifts and be used in the institutional church. It'll be other women saying, I don't want to hear no woman preach. I want to hear, I got to get it from a man. And here's the funny thing. These same women will allow a man to have babies out of wedlock while he married and cheat and keep on cheating. It's so funny to me how y'all think. I'm not lying. It's crazy to me. You fine with the preacher preaching and having 12,000 babies, but you're not okay with a woman who is submitted to the Lord and submitted to her husband and can preach the word, but you'd rather get it. That's some crazy mint right there, if I ever heard something in my whole life. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's all I have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so very much for joining me on tonight. Please be prepared to call the show tomorrow because I'm going to be opening up the phone line simply for your thoughts only. Tomorrow is Free for All Friday. You will be able to call me and talk about whatever, whether it's politics, the subjects that we've talked about all week, whatever you want to talk about. So don't be scared. Make sure you're prepared to give me a call. Also, if you're new to the channel, please make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. I haven't gone over there today to check, but please make sure. As a matter of fact, I think I might do it now just so that I can see if y'all done hit the like button. I just want to see if y'all hit it just to see what's going on, because I had over 300 and something of y'all in here on this live, and I want to see if y'all hit the like button for me. Please hit the like button. Let's see how many likes we got on this video. Oh, I appreciate y'all so much. We got 154. Can I get at least 50 of you guys to hit the like button? 50 more of y'all. Please hit the like button on your way out of here. We are definitely going to revisit this tomorrow, and we're going to have great conversation tomorrow, you guys. It's Free for All Friday. Daryl is about to go on in the next, I believe, 30 minutes or so. Apparently, there's going to be some new information concerning his ongoing saga with another vlogger. And I call him Marvin the Martian. I try to avoid his name, but y'all know I'm talking about Larry. So apparently he's got some more information concerning him, and I need to go over there. If you're supporting the channel, please get a membership, or if you can, please support us with a $12 cash app. I really would appreciate it, because I have a almost $3,000 laptop that I need to buy in order to edit these videos and do all this stuff I need to do. Also, by the way, I need some help on something. I've got some people that I'm interested in bringing on the show to interview, but I don't really have the time to email them and reach out to them. So I need somebody who can assist me for like a couple of hours out of the week. If you're interested in doing so, can you please reach out to me by email? And you will have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, as well as some confidentiality agreements and so forth behind the scenes. So if you're interested in doing that, please make sure that you reach out to me by email, because I need somebody who can help me do that. So I just wanted to throw that out there if you're interested in doing that. So it might only take you a couple of hours a week to do some of the stuff that I need. But I do need some help. And my email, they're going to put it in the chat for you. And by the way, hopefully you will have Skype. You need to have Skype, because I'm going to want a video chat and see your actual face and talk to you. So just make sure that you know that I'm going to want to talk to you either by Facebook chat or by some kind of chat. We're going to need to see each other. So I want to make sure of that as well. So if you're interested in helping me, please reach out to me by email. And because I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for and what I need, and then you can tell me if that's something that you think you can do. And if you can do it, then, it'll be great. All right, guys, that's all I got. There are no calls in the queue. I'm going to close down the phone lines at this particular time, because you guys have run out of time. Boom. It's done. It's done. And I'm finished with that. Make sure that y'all hit the like button on your way out. I love you and appreciate you. Please make sure that you go over and watch the Cigar Vlogger. He's going to be live here shortly. Please make sure you support the channel if you can with the $12 Cash App tonight. I would appreciate that. Thank you all so much for joining the channel and listening to me. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. And we will talk tomorrow. It'll be our free-for-all Friday. And I'm just going to be shooting the breeze tomorrow, talking about whatever it is I want to talk about. I'll see you on tomorrow's broadcast.
You've been listening to the Mad Church Disease Podcast. Visit us online or on our Facebook page at Mad Church Disease.